Hi, today we're recording our week 13 reflection. So, the first question is based on the readings and what you know so far about general education, what are you hoping to gain from Jet Ed in relation to these two courses? Well, the first thing I want to say is Article 27 discusses, how people, for example, whose family made under $44,500 a year were granted like 4-year admission, or like how there's a tribal grant for indigenous people. I want to know from these classes why they felt the need to make this inclusion. And I'll tell you right now, I have varying, probably different opinions than you, because I don't think that it's necessary. I like the 44,000 one because that's not specific to a certain race, but I don't understand the tribal grant at all. Because yes, we're on stolen land. So is the entire United States, and that's just how it's been across the world. And the way the world is today, it was all stolen land, and I would like to understand why they felt the rationale behind giving Native Americans whose land was stolen from them these special grants, because it really just singles out people. And honestly, the way the world's going today, it just feels like more and more everyone but one certain group gets special needs, and that's my group getting left out, and I just don't quite understand it. So I would like to know their rationale behind it, because it makes no sense to me. Now, the other part, which isn't talked about here when it talks about global perspective, is just in Article 29. It discusses the differences around the world, and I want to, and just how they differ around parts of the world and why they do things the way they do. I want to know why they do it that way, how that developed, how their belief system became that way, and I think that'd be very good benefit, just understanding why people are the way they are around the world. To answer question 2, how might courses with these focuses impact how you go about your studies and career? Well, I think no matter how much I disagree with, the first articles talking about the equity and diversity stuff when it comes in relation to some parts of it, I do think it would be valuable, because in Article 27, when you get a chance to look at all the diversity and equity, you get a chance to see others' perspectives. And I do think that is very valuable. As I want to be a lawyer, I need to be able to look at everyone's perspective, see what challenges they may have, especially for a jury. For example, if a jury feels like they've had certain wrongs go against them their whole life, then it'll be very important for me to address these issues. As I know, many times racism is a big thing in trials, sadly, and it can really influence a jury, so I need to learn how to tackle that. The second part, which focuses on the, global perspective, I think that, Article 29, it, stated how just narratives can change perspectives of people. And I think that is actually very true, and something I will need to consider is how has the narrative been around their life? How has the narrative about certain people, certain actions, certain crimes been for them compared to how it is for us? And what would be the ramifications of that? And how could I learn to tackle that with a jury or a judge? So I think that would definitely be something I need to look at, is maybe, for example, India looks at murder way different than we do, either way less significant or way more significant, even more significant than we do. And I really need to tackle that. Or maybe DUI would be a better example, is learning, okay, India really hates DUIs. It's like the worst thing you can do, where maybe Croatia doesn't care about DUIs. That's an example of that. And I need to learn how to tackle that and really deal with that. But yeah, that's been my reflection. Thank you. Have a good night.